is directly over my head. We only see one side of the moon, and that's because we're looking up at it. It's above us, so we're seeing the bottom of it. That's why we only see one side of the moon, in case anybody was wondering. Pretty cool. When I look at the moon, I think the moon is a beautiful thing, and it's very mysterious. But I think I've figured out what the moon is. The moon appears to be a dead husk of what used to be. The moon appears to be old and withered, weathered, like it's just old. The moon appears to have had a different purpose at one point. The moon is the same size as the sun. The moon is doing the same thing as the sun. The sun makes a yearly path called the analemma. The moon makes that same path. It's called the ephemeral. The moon's doing the same thing the sun is doing. It's the same size as the sun, and it can glow. It's made of the same stuff sun is made of, plasma substance. And I believe it's a dead sun. I believe the sun is the soul, the source of souls. I believe we draw our soul from our energy, our life force from the soul source, the sun, the soul. I believe our souls are spawned from the sun. And that's why we see sunspots, because there's souls spawning from the sun. And they come down here on Earth and they live their physical life. Our life force is a light, it's energy, it can be witnessed. Your spark of life is a light. It comes from the source of light, the sun, the soul. The soul is born from the navel of the earth. The navel of the earth is the hole in the center, the north hole, the whirlpool there in the middle. That's the navel of the earth that gives birth to a sun, the soul, the source of souls. Your soul is spawned from the sun. That's why we see sunspots where your soul used to be. Now the stars are just smaller parts of a sun. The stars are like souls that have gone to heaven, smaller parts of the whole. The stars are small lights. The sun is one big light. The stars are smaller parts of the whole. Your soul can go to heaven and you'll be a star. You'll be a star someday. Your soul is spawned from the soul, sun, the source of sun, the souls. The soul was spawned from the earth. The navel of the earth gave birth to a sun. The sun was spawned. Your soul, the soul, S-O-L, soul invictus. Your soul is drawn from the soul, your sun, your soul source. That's why there's a sunspot where your soul used to be. Your soul goes to heaven, and then it doesn't return to the source. Some souls go back to source, the lake of plasma, whatever you want to call it, this bubbling fluid substance. But when all the souls have spawned from the sun and they've all gone to heaven, that sun goes dark and it hardens immediately. So the plasma substance that's swirling around all hot and giving life and light and warmth, when it goes dark, it becomes cold immediately and it solidifies. That plasma substance solidifies, and you can see the texture where all the plasma was all bubbling and popping from all the heat. Where the bubbles were, there'll be little craters all over the surface. You can see where all the bubbles were popping because there's all these craters all over the surface of it, because it hardened. immediately. So all the bubbles that were popping left craters all over the surface of this spherical plasma body that was once the sun. And it became cold and solid. And it began to sink ever so slowly. Just ever so slowly. And a new sun was spawned from the navel of the earth. It sprung from the navel of the earth. The water broke. It turns out that the ocean water bears a striking resemblance to amniotic fluid. That is what, when the water breaks when you're born, it's salt water. It's just like the ocean. The ocean is the result of the water breaking. We've had two suns born on Earth. We're on our second sun. Each time a sun is born, the water breaks. All this water comes into Earth. All this water wasn't here before. There used to be a lot less salt water here. There's a lot more than there used to be. But when the sun is spawned and the old sun is still up there, we're on our second sun, I believe. That old sun is made of the stuff that suns are made of, plasma moon, right? And so when the new sun shines on it, it absorbs that light. It's made of the stuff suns are made of, so it starts to glow like it used to, but not as bright. It doesn't have the life force that used to be in it. But it'll glow and kind of look like it used to look. It'll be all bright and shining. But the thing is, the moon is a dead sun. So the moon's light is cold, and it causes decay and death. That's a fact. The sun's light causes life and growth and warmth. The moon's light is cold and causes decay. It's a dead sun. It's the opposite of the sun. The sun is on a specific course in the sky. It's called the analemma, the yearly path of the sun. At the equator, if you do the analemma, it's an even-sized loop, equal loops in the north and in the south. It's a perfect infinity symbol. It's equal. There's a loop in the north and a loop in the south. It's an infinity symbol. It's the toroid, the torus field, the within, without, within, the flow that just keeps moving. Like the yin yang, if you look at the yin yang and you make it a 3D image, it's a torus field. It's within, without, always cycling within, without. The moon has the same yearly path as the sun. It's called the ephemeral. It's in the same shape as the sun. At the equator, you're going to see equal-sized loops in the north and in the south. It's making the same path because it's an old sun. It used to be a sun. It's doing the same thing the sun's doing, and it's the same size as the sun. It's on a different schedule because it started to sink and it started to lose elevation after it lost its life force. It began slowly sinking. It'll eventually crash into the earth. But for now, it's still way up there. But it's making the same, it's still on its circuit, but it's just slowly sinking. So it's a little bit closer than the sun is. But, it's about the same size as the sun. That's why they can eclipse. It can be eclipsed. The sun can be eclipsed by the old sun. This is also why there was a time on Earth when there was no moon in the sky. When the first sun was born, and there was only, half the ocean that there is now. When the water broke, and the sun was born, there was no moon in the sky for the first sun that was up there, and all the souls that were spawning from that sun when they lived here on Earth, they had no moon in the sky. There's people's ancient ancestors on Earth today that apparently remember a time when there was no moon in the sky. And well, that can be explained by the fact that the moon is an old sun. That's the sun that they were spawning from. The moon is an old sun. It's a dead sun. Its light causes decay. It's cold. It does the opposite of the sun. The sun gives life and warmth and light. The moon comes and it shines cold light and causes decay and death. It's a dead sun. It does the opposite as the sun. It's not giving life anymore. And when the sun is born into the sky, it breaks off an umbilical cord. It disconnects from the earth. The moon did come from the earth, like how they say, but it's not how they say, though. It was a sun. It was born from the earth. It broke off its umbilical cord, activated, and shot up in the sky. Now that that would mean every sun has a belly button. And when the sun dies and it becomes solid, like the moon, how we can see the dead sun, the moon, if you look, next time you get a chance, look up close at the moon, you'll see it has a belly button. It's quite obvious. Once you know what you're looking for, you'll spot it right away. The moon has a belly button where it first broke off its umbilical cord when it was born into the sky. Now, the fact that the moon is the same size as the sun, it's plasma, it's just solid plasma. It doesn't have its life force swirling around in it. It's not hot anymore. Like, it's not giving life and light. It absorbs sunlight and will glow because it's made of the same stuff that suns are made of, but it's not alive anymore. It's not giving life. It's on the same circuit as the sun. The moon's path makes the ephemeral. The sun's path makes the analemma. It's the same path. They're on the same path. They're the same size. They're two bodies that are floating around in the sky. Like, one of them is quite obvious what its purpose is. The other one, the moon, well, what is its purpose? I don't know. Like the sun, it's pretty fucking obvious what the sun's for. It's very central to our life. The moon, well, it's cool to look at, but what is it doing? I mean, it looks spent, it looks weathered, it looks like its original purpose is no longer it's not serving its original purpose. It looks dead. It looks like an old, weathered, the husk of what used to be. I believe we're on our second sun. I believe all those stars in the sky were souls that were from that first sun. I think some of the souls that are in the sky now are from our sun too, but I think people still go to heaven, but a lot less people than maybe used to, because I think all the stars that we see in the sky are souls that have gone. Their light has just, they knew how to ascend to heaven. There's ways to do it. But, when our physical body passes away, the life force, the energy has to dissipate into the environment, and, it'll all be pulled back to source eventually, or go to heaven, one of the two outcomes. But there is a finite amount of souls in a sun, and eventually it will go dark and solidify, and that's why you'll see a moon in the sky. It's just a dead sun. It's the only explanation that really makes any sense as far as to what the moon could be and why it's there. That's what I believe.